Welcome back to Solo Hoops, and if you guys didn't know, Luka Doncic is unguardable. You probably heard, unless you're literally living under a rock because it was all over social media, Luka Doncic last night had a 40-point triple-double, but that's not even the craziest part. In the first half, he had a triple-double where he had 29 points, 10 boards, and 10 assists in the first half. Nobody has ever had a 25 points first half triple-double before. Well, actually, I think it was Luka, I think had a 24-point first half triple-double. So he broke his own record and got 29, 10, and 10 in the first half. They ended up winning by like 50. So Luka could have had even more points. Again, he scored 40. He could have had even more. He played 32 minutes. So it's not like he played only like, 25. Like he played a decent amount of minutes, but they won by 50. So if this was a close game, I mean, he might have even went for 50 or even closer to 60. Now, after Luka got this triple-double last night, I thought that it would be pretty interesting to look up how many triple-doubles does he normally get. And you guys can see it is right here, triple-double 3. I guess that's what it means. You guys can see by year. So his second season, he had 17 triple-doubles in only 61 games. So I don't know if he's topping that, but in 19 games, he already has 4 triple doubles, so he's on pace to beat the last 3 years before this. How many triple doubles do y'all think Luka's gonna get? He's on pace for, I want to say, just about under 20 triple doubles, so he could get his career high because he probably would have had more than 17 if he played more than 61 games in 2019-2020. But basically, Luka Doncic is unstoppable, and I'm not even surprised, bro. I'm really not even surprised that Luka got a 29-point first half triple. Like if you were to tell me like, yo, guess who did this? Like they had a 29-point triple double in the first half. My first guess would be Luka. Now you've got to start to wonder, is Luka gonna win his first MVP? Because he's one of those guys that we just kind of know, like he's probably gonna win one eventually. People like him, Jason Tatum, I guess you could say Wemby, although it's pretty early. Like we know there's some guys that further down in their career are probably going to win MVP, and Luka is probably the most likely one. Is this going to be the year? You guys see his stats, 31.8 points per game. I want to say he's like top 3, top 5. I could check that for points per game. There's some people that are scoring like so much, like Joel Embiid. I know De'Aaron Fox is going crazy to start the year, but Luka also with 8.5 rebounds per game and 8.5 assists per game. The dude is absolutely going off, and honestly, single-handedly carrying the Mavericks. Now, if we take a look at the Western Conference standings, at the top, we got the Timberwolves, then we have the Thunder, then we have the Nuggets, and at 4, we have the Dallas Mavericks. And the Mavericks were a team that coming into this year, I think I had them as like the 11th seed. Like they have Luka, they got Kyrie, and that's pretty much it. Like they're a team that I think come the trade deadline, like they have to make a move, or I just don't see a world where they have a chance at winning the NBA Finals. Like, of course, they have Luka, and he's gonna have his games. Maybe they win a round in the playoffs, but I just don't see them winning. What is it, 3-4 rounds in the play? It's 4 rounds they'd have to win. I don't see that happening. But they're 12-8 right now, and that is single-handedly because of Luka. If we take a look at the Dallas Mavericks team stats, we have Luka leading the way with 31.4 points per game. We're not really surprised with that. And rebounds, we also have Luka, 8.4 assists. Also, actually, this is a little bit behind. This is before the 40-point triple-double. So these numbers are even higher. And steals, you guys can't see, but he's leading the team in that as well. And blocks is actually Derek Lively. So that's the one stat where Luka is not leading. But if we take a look at the points column, it's Luka, Kyrie, Tim Hardaway. Like, that's a solid piece. Like, that's a solid piece. He's just a little, scoring merchant. He's a scoring option for them. And that's a great player to have on the team. But after that, Derek Jones Jr. is their 4th best scorer. And like, for a team that wants to win it all, I feel like that is like unacceptable. Like, they got to make some moves. Derek Jones Jr. is having a good year, by the way. And like, he is someone that I think will progress into like a solid player in the future. But Derek Jones Jr., Grant Williams is their 5th scorer. These are players that like realistically should be coming off the bench on a team that really wants to go for it and try to win it all. Derek Lively has actually been playing good. He gets into foul trouble a lot. That's one thing that is a problem with the Dallas Mavericks, but I feel like Derek Lively can be the center for the Dallas Mavericks. But I do think that they're gonna have to go out and probably trade for a forward come, you know, the trade deadline if they really want to make a push for the finals. Luka has been on an absolute tear. Obviously tonight, 40 points, 11 assists, 10 boards. The game before that, 36 points with 18 assists and 15 rebounds. That's just to start December. I believe he probably missed a game in here. No, there was actually a long break, so never mind. Yeah, that was back-to-back games. And then at the end of November, 41 points, 9 assists, 9 boards, another 30-point. Boards and assists were kind of low here, but y'all get what I'm saying. Like, he's on an absolute tear, and I feel like his next game is like must-watch TV, bro, because like, what is he about to go out and do in this next game when he's on an absolute rampage? And he basically didn't even play the fourth quarter in the game last night. Like, I really think he would have went for 50 if it was a remotely close game. You guys can see right here, 147-97. Like, they blew the Jazz out of the water. As you guys know, this is a new channel. By the way, sub up if you guys haven't. I'm gonna be posting daily on this channel, or every other day, at the worst every third day. And I was looking at the NBA games I was watching. I was thinking, what am I gonna talk about? Now, there were some players in the early game, in the early window of games at 7 p.m. Eastern that were going absolutely crazy. One of them, obviously, is Desmond Bane. Like, I ended up changing, and I was like, you know what? I want to make this video more about Luka, because you just have to after that type of game he had. But at the beginning, I was like, bro, I got to talk about Desmond Bane. 49 points. He almost had a 50 bomb. This is a career high for Desmond Bane. He was absolutely torching the Detroit Pistons, who, by the way, have not won a game since before Halloween. Like, that doesn't even seem real, bro. They're 2-19, and the Pistons, I'm gonna say it one more time because it just kind of has to. You gotta let it sink in. They haven't won a game since before Halloween. October 31st. I think they won like the 29th or something. They didn't win in November. They haven't won in December. Like, they are just so bad. Like, it's actually crazy. But Bane getting the Grizzlies the win here. They won by 14. Josh should be coming back soon. Jaren has not been playing the best, but Bane, he's very like boomer bust. Like, you know, he's gonna shoot a lot of shots, and it's just like, are they gonna go in or not? And last night, well, I'm recording this the night that it happened, but I know y'all are watching this in the future. So last night, it just happened that the shots were falling. 49.6 boards, 8 assists. Desmond Bane played the best game of his career. As you guys can see right here, he shot 19 for 31, 61% from the field, 4 for 8 from 3, 7 for 7 from the line. And my question to y'all, so let me know in the comments. Like I said, on this channel, I want to have a conversation. I want to have some debates, stuff like that in the comments. I'm gonna reply to as many comments as I can. What do you see happening with the Grizzlies? They're obviously gonna get Ja back in, what is it, like 6 games from now, something like that. How do you see this team's direction going in the future? Do they make a push for the play-in? Are they going to be in the lottery? How do you see this team kind of ending up? Because if I had to guess, I think they're going to turn it around. Obviously, they had a very poor start. What are they, 6-14? I think that they're probably gonna barely miss the play-in. I think Ja missing 25 games is probably a little bit too much. And I think the Grizzlies are probably just going to miss the play-in by a few games, maybe like 3 or 4 games. We spoke about Luka Doncic earlier, and speaking of the MVP debate, you got to talk about the reigning MVP. We got Joel Embiid, who just dropped a 50 bomb on the Washington Wizards. And like, it's a 50 bomb, but it's the Washington Wizards. Like, he averages 32 points per game regularly. So we kind of expected he'd probably score like 35, 40, which is just crazy to say. But Joel Embiid with a 50 bomb, 13 boards, 7 assists against the 3-17 Washington Wizards, who, by the way, Daniel Gafford had an injury in the middle of this game. I think he ended up coming back, but still, like, they already don't have the best paint defense, and they just are not good at defense in general, and they're just not really good at basketball compared to the other NBA teams, obviously. But 50 points for Embiid on 38 minutes. And another thing that you have to like note is earlier in the year when they played the Wizards, he dropped 48 on them with 11 boards. So if they play the Wizards again, next time they play the Wizards, you know, we will be taking his over. I use underdog. We will be picking his over for his points, maybe even his rebounds, because I guess Joel Embiid is just the Wizard killer at this point. The Orlando Magic are 14-7, and they're shocking a ton of people in the NBA, or I should say fans. Not, I mean, well, they're probably shocking some people in the NBA as well, but I knew the Magic had some potential, and I knew they were probably going to be solid, you know, probably in the play-in. But like, bro, they are, let me check actually. They are right now the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference. And that is with a large part having to do with Paolo Banchero's performance. 42 points last night against the Cavs. They did lose the game, but like, I feel like Paolo's really starting to break out here. Like, he's been a guy that I've been kind of waiting for. Like, he's been kind of just doing solid. You know what I'm saying? He's got that superstar potential, but 42 points here. And if we take a look at his game log, I know it's kind of small, but all the way on the right, you guys can see his points, 42. That's his season high. And then honestly might be his career high. I'm not too sure, but if we go all the way to the bottom here, you'll see he started off with like some stinkers, bro. Like, he was really not playing too hot. 12, 14, 9, 15, all to start off here in October. Then in November, he was doing pretty solid, averaging 20.9 in the month of November. And to start December, he's averaging 23.5. It's going to be a big thing, a big question. Is Paolo going to keep it up? I think he's going to play pretty solid. Obviously not going to score 42 every single night, but the Magic are a team that, in my opinion, are really kind of turning heads. And again, if we take a look at the Eastern Conference, how many of these teams are going to pass the Magic come the end of the season, come April? I could see the 76ers passing them. The Knicks and the Pacers are 2 teams that, like, you could see passing them, but it's like you're on the fence. Like, I don't really know. Same with the Heat. The Cavs, I think, will pass them. So I will say Cavs, Sixers pass the Magic. No one else is really for sure, in my opinion. Obviously, nothing's for sure. You never know what's going to happen, and you never know with injuries. But I say the Cavs and Sixers pass them. So I think the Magic could be a 5 or a 6 seed. Definitely they'll have a play-in spot unless something absolutely tragic happens to them. But they're having a crazy start to the year today, or at least I should say, if you guys are watching this right when the video drops, we have Pacers, Bucks, and we have Lakers and Pelicans in the NBA in-season tournament. And I just want to drop my predictions real quick. Again, I mentioned this in my last video. Lakers, Pelicans, or I should just say the Lakers in the in-season tournament as a whole. It just kind of seems like the refs kind of want the Lakers to win. It seems like the NBA, for ratings and just for everything, they just want the Lakers and LeBron to get the first ever NBA Cup win. So the Pelicans are going to have to really beat the Lakers. Like, it can't be just like, oh, they slightly beat them, because the refs might give the Lakers some calls and the Lakers might end up winning. And so I'd love to see the Pelicans win. They've been playing some great basketball. Herb Jones has been playing great defense. Like, they're just such a really good defensive team. Trey Murphy's been playing good, but I do think I got to go with the Lakers in that game. And we have the Pacers and Bucks. I'd love to see the Pacers win, and I really think they have a chance, but I have to go with the Bucks. These are 2 of the hottest teams in the NBA, at least in my opinion. I think Dame is starting to really figure out the offense and how to, you know, play alongside Giannis at, I mean, is this the right time? I mean, I guess maybe for the NBA in-season tournament, but they still have about 4 months until the playoffs to figure it out. I think the Bucks are going to be scary in the playoffs also, by the way, but Bucks Pacers, I mean, that game is going to be insane. It's honestly going to be must-watch TV. Like, that's going to be probably the best game all week. I don't know. Like, that's a really good game. It's going to be fast-paced, high-scoring. But I will have the Bucks winning that game. Halliburton's going to have to go off. If the Pacers want to win this game, Halliburton is going to have, you know, 14 assists, maybe 30 points, because, you know, Dame and Giannis are gonna go crazy. I mean, watch them, like, watch Dame have like 4 points now that I'm saying that. But realistically, Dame and Giannis are probably gonna go crazy, and then we'd have a Bucks Lakers finals where I'll probably take the Bucks. But again, the refs and the NBA, it kind of seems really want the Lakers to win. So if you guys haven't, turn on notifications. I'll see y'all tomorrow, and click the video on your screen if you guys have not ever watched this video.